Warm regards from Dubai. My name is Simon, and together with Mohak and Pierre, I'm working on Digitalsocial.id. Now, the internet changed the world, and now the internet is changing itself. We need to make sure that the internet is a safe place, in my opinion, with real humans you can trust. And we are certain that 2 years from now, most of us will already own some sort of internet reputation, and Digitalsocial.id is the company that helps us to get there. Now, the internet was made for machines to communicate with each other, not for human beings. And now businesses are struggling to find trustworthy users more than ever. And then risk mitigation eventually leads to an impingement of user value, which is kind of a dilemma. So wallets are not identifiable at this stage, and it's impossible to measure a wallet's level of trustworthiness, at least in one single snapshot. So this leads to problems such as waves of bots invading the apps. Now, from a user perspective, take this guy. He tried to prove his that he's a credible human to a DeFi platform when taking out a loan. In DeFi, he's just a wallet, so he can't show his good intentions to the protocol. Hence, he has to bear the burden of over-collateralizing his loan. And we thought there must be a better way for things like this. So we say having a social identity that is immutable and fair is your personal proof of credibility. We need identity reputation infrastructure. And that's where Digitalsocial.id comes in, because we have a solution for this. DSID helps you build your on-chain reputation with full anonymity. So our friend can now interact in a diverse set of internet actions to build his social reputation. And the best, as a user, you own that reputation. Let's say you are a wonderful guest to your host on an accommodation platform, for example, in Web2, and he gives you a great rating. Who owns that rating right now at this stage? You or the marketplace provider? If we think about it, it wouldn't be much more fair if you actually own the reputation and not the middleman. And blockchain technology is now here to help. From a timing perspective, it is a great time to build right now and get the market ready for wider adoption. So we think we'll be ready when the market is ready, for sure. And in a conservative model, DSID is looking at a serviceable, obtainable market of $20 million. But we're only considering here capturing ETH wallets. But as a multi-chain project, we can scale into a much, much bigger market in the long run, right? Now, let's take a deeper look at how it actually works. So please pay close attention. First, an internet user initiates some activity on a third-party platform. In our example case, this could be making a donation. Secondly, the user will be asked to connect his wallet before actually making the donation. He then finalizes the activity, respectively makes the donation, and the platform will provide feedback to DSID immediately. And number 4, the user is able to mint a social accreditation token. Technically, that's an NFT that represents his action in the internet, and this NFT is strictly non-transferable, so it's bound to his wallet. Those tokens now make up the user's reputation inventory that DSID utilizes to compute a score from A to F. Then, second part, the DSID hub. That's the central piece for users, and important features here include to actually see your online reputation in an instance after connecting your wallet and bake your reputation. That means aggregating all social accreditation tokens you have. You can also access the SAT inventory to see all collected SATs from different interactions with different service providers of our ecosystem. Or you can simply compare yourself on the DSID leaderboard. Now, most importantly, you will find partner businesses in the DSID hub where you can either earn reputation or use your reputation. Happening right now is our MVP. So we have 2 use cases rolling out until January. One of them is credit reputation with Compound. So as someone using Compound's lending services, you can visit the DSID hub, connect your wallet, sign a smart contract, and with Compound and based on lending activities, we can allow you to mint a social accreditation token. With this token, you can show your reputation score to DEXs like ZeroVix, for example, where you can get low interest rates or less collateralized loans if they're part of our ecosystem, obviously. Now, let's also talk about money at the end. If less than 7% of all active wallets on Ethereum would actively use DSID, we would already be at $1 million in revenue per year based on our model. We have 3 revenue streams. One of them is minting reputations. As a user, we receive 25 cents per transaction. And the biggest part is verifying users from business side. And they utilize our reputation history and they pay €0.50. And also the user bakes his reputation by aggregating all his social accreditation tokens in the DSID hub. This is €1 per reputation baking. You need to do this only occasionally. And that's basically where the money comes from. Now we touched on the product, we touched on the revenue stream. Let's see who's making it happen. Mohawk is a full stack blockchain dev. He has more than 5 years experience as a software engineer, and he has several hackathon wins under his belt, one of them including a credit scoring scheme based on soulbound tokens. Pierre is a seasoned marketing expert. He already sold digital product worth far more than €1 million. And then I am an experienced salesperson, and I worked the past 2 years actually in a venture capital fund. Now me and Pierre are officially full-time working on DSID. Starting in January, actually we started already a couple months ago, to be honest. With all that being said, we want to remind you that your identity is who you are. So let's make the best out of it. And I'm very happy to answer any questions that come up, because I'm sure there will be some. Thanks so much. Sure.
All right, we'll now bring on the judges for Q&A.
Yes, please. Bring them on. I'll stop sharing for now, but maybe I need some of the backup stats later. I can share again.
Thanks, Simon. Forgive me, but I didn't quite get the acquisition slide via charity. Would you be able to, even this example, or use any other particular examples for how you intend to acquire users here?
Sure. So basically, all you do, this is just one use case of many, right? But we need to be specific, so we need to focus on some use cases, and we do have already one charity platform that's partnered with us, which is Cherio. So that's why we took this case. So all we want to do is prove on the blockchain that you did the charity, right? We want to prove that you actually did that action. So all we do is waiting for the action to be finalized on the charity donation platform. And as soon as it's finalized, we will allow you to mint a social accreditation token. We call them that, right? It's an NFT, it's a soulbound token. And you finalize this activity, and the soulbound token will be minted into your wallet. And you collect those tokens, and they are the base for our computation of your reputation score. And this is just one example of one reputable action, right, that we take, because everyone understands, okay, making a donation is kind of a good thing. But there are much more use cases we can implement here. Also, just as I said earlier, the compound case that we're actually building right now, it's a different way of building reputation, right? So as soon as the ecosystem grows, there are going to be more use cases as well. Does that answer the question?
Yeah. Yes. Thank you.
Okay.
So this solution is actually very much garnered towards a very crypto native crowd, right? So how would you foster adoption for, let's say, users that are new to crypto?
Right. Well, that's the cool thing, because that's actually our main goal. We started this with the intention, besides making the internet a more trustworthy space or place, also to build a bridge between Web 2 and Web 3. Because if you have a use case, you're going to use it. The user doesn't care what's behind it. It doesn't care if it's HTML or a blockchain or whatever the code is. So the use case can be on Web 2 platforms. Like the charity donation platform can also be a Web 2 platform. So we can actually acquire users from Web 2 platforms that just use the DSID infrastructure to accredit reputation to the users, right? Of course, our go-to-market is going to be towards Web 3 users, because they're more likely to understand how to use a wallet, right? But down the road, also when wallet adoption increases and everything, it's going to be much easier also to acquire users from Web 2 platforms. It mainly depends as well with whom we're going to partner, and we have some interesting partners in our pipeline. And if there are some Web 2 business in there and they have a big user base, we can get all of those users as DSID users as well, right?